WhyGuru, 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 WhyGuru,
WhyGuru, WhyGuru Sahib Jiyo, WhyGuru, WhyGuru Sahib Ji. अंतर गुर आराधना जिहवा जप गुर नाम नेत्री सतगुर पेखना श्रवणी सुनना गुर नाम सतगुर से तीरत्या दरगह पाइए ठाओ कहो नानक किरपा करे जिसनु एह वथ दे जग में ऊतम काढ़ी है विरले के विरले के गुरु गुरु गुर कर मन मोर गुरु बिना मैं नाही होर गुरु गुरु गुर कर मन मोर गुरु बिना मैं नाही होर। वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। Okay, so this week we're going to go into the nuts and bolts of Sikhi, yeah? Which is basically the spiritual message. Because sometimes I remember when I was growing up and I was watching this Sikhi to the max and the translation was like, I'm a bumblebee and you're the flower. And I was like totally lost, like, oh, what is that all about, you know? And unfortunately, Sikhi to the max is a great tool, but to understand what's being said conceptually, we need to have the concepts given to us first, yeah? I'm the bride, the heart bride speaks to the husband Lord, and it's kind of like freaky, like what's that all about, you know? So the English translations don't make sense unless you understand the concepts already, then they make more sense, yeah? So this is kind of like explaining the concepts, and then Gurbani is really the application of that. So go straight into it. Okay, I can look here. So we're going to look at the message of Sikhi, why we should meditate. And then we look at something quite interesting called the path of the saints, yeah? And Gurbani calls this the Santaka Marg. So we look at that. And then the idea of the death of the ego, because it can be a bit scary sounding, you know, because we kind of see that's me and I'm going to die, so that sounds a bit weird. There's this, Jivat Mare, that sounds a bit scary sometimes when you're coming from outside it. And what does that mean? And then what next? We are going to do some Simran today, okay? So it's not just like this course is not just a theory, we're going to do some hands-on Simran as well. So. Now, just to start off with, it's kind of like, before we even approach Gurbani, we have to step back and look at a few basic truths of what it's saying for us, like where we've come from, yeah? So, the first bit is, a lot of people misunderstand the word Ik Oankar. Mostly because our parents tell us that means there is one God, yeah? So the first question we've got to ask is, okay, the Ik obviously is the one, yeah? What does Oankar mean? See, most people, they stop there and then they go, I don't know. Yeah, because Oankar doesn't mean there is, yeah? So it means something else. One way to understand Ik Oankar, the sort of simple way, is that Oang is the sound that made the world, yeah? And Akar is creation. Now sometimes it comes as Ik Oankar, and sometimes Ik Ekankar. So Ekankar is WhyGuru by themselves, with no form. And Oankar is following the sound, what's being created, i.e. what we're seeing now. Yeah? All of this was made with just one sound, right? And that was Oang. Yeah? So it's actually the Big Bang. Because in physics they says singularity expanded into creation. Ek, singularity, sound, Oang, how did it happen? Akar, and the world was made. Yeah? So that's the real basic, this Ik Oankar is very deep. There's actually many more meanings than that. But primarily that's how the world was made. But also is that we came at that time. So Sikhi would tell, we were made, yeah, many generations, eons ago. So effectively, when that one separated into the world and created Maya, this illusion, we came out of that one at the same time. And we were separated. So their separation happened then, yeah, which is 14.3 billion years ago, as per physics, yeah. So we were separated a long time ago, yeah, effectively, from our true being. And that for us, the one is all around us. Some people have this concept that God is like separate from the world. So this is the world and the God is separate. But Sikhi is not like that. So what Maharaj is here right now, omnipresent and all around us. Now, what if you start thinking about this a bit, it can blow your brains a little bit, is that actually we're breathing him in right now, but he's also inside us and outside us. So the point is, where are we? We're inside WhyGuru. Yeah? We're not outside WhyGuru. There's nothing but WhyGuru. Yeah? The one, we're not separate from the one, we're inside the one. Normally we tend to think about God being inside us or away from the world. But it's the other way around. We're floating inside Akal Purkh. And that the mission of our soul is actually just to go back. The thing that gets confusing here is that if WhyGuru is all around us, yeah, Sukhjit was on the first course actually, you might see him from the intro. Aja. So if WhyGuru is all around us, yeah, and we've come from WhyGuru, how are we going to go back? There's nowhere to travel, is it? It's right here. So this is about realization. It's making that light inside us come alive. Yeah? This is the path of Sikhi. Sikhi is about God realization right here, right now, where we are. It's not looking for some kind of heaven, afterlife. Because we do think there is a place where you can live on as a soul. But what I mean is that primarily what we're aiming for as a Sikh is to have God now and not after we die. Now a lot of people, yeah, for our generation say, I'll just be a good person, and when I die, right, then obviously, hopefully God will bless me and I'll get into heaven. You see? But that's kind of, for me, a bit like saying, you know, I really like this person. What we're going to do is, we're going to break up now. I'm not going to see you until the next life. Yeah? It doesn't make any sense, right? If you love somebody, you want them now. You don't want to wait for them in the next life. So, Akal Purkh is the same way. We're supposed to have them here right now, not in our next life, but here, while we're alive. And the analogy I've put here is the glass and the ocean. So it comes up this way, but not with the glass, yeah? But just imagine this. So you've got this ocean, yeah? And that's all there is an ocean. And you just go up to this ocean, put a glass in there, take out the glass of water. Now, what's the difference between the ocean and the water inside the glass? Same thing, right? However, there's a big difference. One's huge and one's tiny. But it's the same thing inside them. Now, it's the same for us in Akal Purkh, as per Sikhi. Sab mein hai jyot, jyot hai soy. Tiste chanan, sab mein chanan hoy. So the light of the one is inside us, and we shine with that same light. Now, the only difference between that, if you put that glass back into the ocean, slowly, slowly, until it's almost touching, yeah, but not quite touching. The water inside is still separate from the water around it, but that water is all around it. The thing that's keeping it separate is the glass. Yeah? And the glass is the problem, isn't it? Yeah? Now for us, we are actually from the ocean. But something separates us from that. But it's not a real thing. It's been created just to give it the illusion of separation. Yeah? But it doesn't really exist. And we call this glass Haumai. Okay? This is the thing that separates us from merging back into the ocean. And this glass is not impregnable. It's possible to break this glass down, this Haumai. Yeah? Gurbani describes it as the biggest disease ever. Dirag Rog. Rog is disease, yeah? So Dirag Rog means the deepest disease. So our aim is to actually break that glass down and merge back in. Yeah? It's not gonna be like we dissolve though. Don't be scared. Yeah? It's just we're gonna stay where we are. Right? But the experience will happen. So the Haumai is the illusion that we are separate. Now the word Haumai for a long time I didn't know what it meant. You know, because she kept saying it. The word Ha is like I. Yeah, I, me, I. And then Ma is me. I, me. That's actually what Haumai means, I and me. So it's actually the ego. It's this feeling that I am. You know, I think, therefore I am. That sentence is riddled with Haumai. It's riddled with it. Poor Descartes, he invented Western philosophy, but the same way, he actually separated the soul from God. Yeah? I think, therefore I am. But the other way is, you are and you are. Yeah? Because that's all there is really, the ocean. So our aim as a Sikh, our aim as a soul of a teacher, our Guru is enlightened, so our Guru is trying to get us to be enlightened. And our aim, whether we're Sikh or not, or just human, is to go back. It's just to go back and not go anywhere, but just to experience the one inside us. Okay? And Guru has the power to enlighten us. The word Gur Prasad is effectively just that. Guru has the power to bless us with the oneness with the one. That Haumai can be broken with Guru. Yeah? So the solution is Guru. The problem is being created, but the solution has also been sent. He didn't make a problem that was intractable, he sent someone to solve it. But also, for Guru is Bani, then the Guru Shabad has the power to enlighten us. So when it says, the word of God, yeah, that is for us. Guru and Gurbani are the same. And they can do both these things. So okay, so the first thing was that kind of concept. Now another concept introduced is reincarnation. Okay, it's not talked about. Some people have actually tried to deny reincarnation itself, which I find a bit freaky. Let me just turn airplane mode. Gurbani describes to us a system of 8.4 million lives. That we're in this big cycle, yeah? We're just going round and round trying to find our origin. Okay? And this life, the top one, the human life, is the only chance out of those 8.4 lives to connect 8.4 million lives, yeah, to realize this truth. The truth we just talked about Haumai. So now you can imagine how precious this human life might be. It's kind of like waking up one day and realizing you've got a lottery ticket in your back pocket. It's just there. You've actually, all of us, being human, have won the lottery. Yeah? Secondly, we're born into Sikhi, which is a path of the truth, realizing the truth. So therefore, it's kind of like winning the lottery twice, rollover. Yeah, right. We're here in rollover time. Yeah. Now imagine if we don't cash it in. Just imagine what a waste it would be if we didn't cash it in. If you had that rollover lottery, yeah. The first guy that won it, he must have thought, wow. Just imagine that all of us have that chance. Yeah. But also that the soul, it actually yearns to merge with God. So inside us, there is a deep hole. Let's call this hole the yearning for God. Now that yearning for God is so big, it can't be filled with anything else. You can try filling it with alcohol. I've tried. You can try filling it with drugs as well, right? But actually, nothing will fulfill that yearning. Because it's a God-sized hole, yeah? There's nothing as big as God. So effectively, some of us don't even know that we're missing God. Yeah. So the first step is to awaken to the fact there is this being. And the second thing, and then our soul will say, I actually want to go back. Sikhi is about that path of creating that yearning. As you might have heard, Puran hoye hamari asa, tor bhajan ki rahe pyasa. Let me stay thirsty to say your name, yeah, to sing your praises. Sikhi is about keeping that thirst. It's very easy to get blasé about it. Okay? So I do invite you to take this a bit seriously, just because of the fact that it could be the thing that you were made for. Now, the death of the physical borrowed body is obviously guaranteed, yeah? But the other concept that we're given is that as part of this 8.4 million lives, we are getting judged for everything that we do. Okay? Because that sounds a bit scary, yeah? But the fact is that everything is being recorded. Because as far as we say, WhyGuru is all-knowing. Yeah? So there's nothing that's missed out. It's not like he forgot or messed up there. Everything is being recorded by Dharamraj, yeah? And there is a judgment. And effectively, this 8.4 million lives, last life, you did quite well. All of us did quite well. Because we came into the human being life, yeah? But we blow it, then we might not come back. Because some people think, I'll do it in my next life. And there's no guarantee our next life is going to be the human life. There's every chance it could be one of the other ones. Because it's like one of those human lives and 8.4 non-human ones. Yeah? So why take that risk? The second part, right? So our actions and our thoughts are evaluated. And the thing that Naam, we're going to talk about today, was Naam, yeah? But as Gurbani describes it, Naam is the most valuable thing that you could do in that judgment. So it's like, on this side is a whole bunch of sins, yeah? And Naam, let's imagine the sins to be straw. Naam is like a fire, like a spark. It will just burn the lot down, yeah? Like Sunay dukh paap ka nas. Dukh, sadness, and paap can be wiped out with this magical thing called Naam. Okay? So we're going to talk about Naam, basically, what we're talking. But just imagine this as the heaviest thing on this planet that you could put on this, Judgment Day scale. And effectively, Bani says that you will regret not planting the Naam whilst you're alive. Hun vatte har naam na bijio, age pukha kya khai. in this human life, if this is the time, this is your vela, like a farmer has to plant in just spring. Otherwise, when the summer comes and the sun's out, nothing will be growing because he needs to plant it at that time. So this is the time, Maharaj says, to plant the Naam. Otherwise, agge pokha kya khai? What will you eat when you're hungry in the next, because you want to plant anything? So also, Naam is given a lot of vadiyai, a lot of praise given to Naam. One thing that's said to us is Naam means a life of honor. So effectively, just imagine this, yeah? Massive big room full of people, yeah? And you got a chance of going into that room totally naked. Yeah? Most people are going to be in morbid horror, yeah, to walk into that room full of people. Yeah? Naam is the clothes on top. These are the kapre that we can put on top and we walk in and we've got some honor. Otherwise we go there nange. Yeah? That's how it's described to us. It brings us honor, but also we can take our loved ones along with us. It's like a gift. You could just do Naam yourself, don't have to preach to your family or anything, but you can actually bless them. As I said, Jinni Naam te aaya, gaye masakat ka nanak te mukh ujle. Their faces shine, keti chutti naal. They take people with them. Yeah? So it's like free seva for your family. Yeah? If you love your family, do some Naam simran. Yeah? And if your family says to you, na kari, yeah, just if anybody, I've heard this by the way, yeah? So I put it up. If anybody's family says to you, don't go into Sikhi, tera biyani hona jo bhi hona, you're not going to get married, yeah? Just remind them of this fact. Yeah? Yeah? Remind them that if I do Naam, I'll bless you. Tusi nahi karna na karo. Let me do it for you. Yeah? That might flip their idea of it. And that Guru has the power to give Naam. That's the key thing here. Guru has been blessed with the power to give this Naam gift to us. Let's go into this. Right. Okay, the experience of God. Just going to discuss this bit. Another concept that we have to introduce to ourselves. Yeah. So we've had the fact that we're separated from God and that there's reincarnation, judgment. Yeah. And Naam is a blessing. But also that this connection has a spot. Okay. Maharaj says that, so just to example, those like you get those washing up liquid balls, and you just put them in the washing machine and they kind of, at some point it's going to dissolve. And so it's like this, yeah? We're inside God, but we're not floating like we did the glass earlier on top of the ocean. We're not floating on top of the ocean, and there's a little gap. Actually, we're totally submerged inside the ocean, totally inside it. So it's just this ball of glass. And inside it is the light of God, and all around it is the light of God. But just separating the two bits is his ego, yeah? Haumai. Now, there's a hole between these two. Yeah? That hole is right here, top of the head, the Godhead. Yeah? Call this the Dasam Duaar. There's 9 doors that are in our body that are visible and physical. We can see them. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 2 below. Yeah? 8, 9. And the 10th one is right here. So Guru Amar Das Ji, not me, just Jagraj Singh, but Guru Amar Das Ji tells us in Anand Sahib, you know the bit you've already heard, Ram Kali Mehla Tija Anand, yeah? Well, actually it's 40 pauris long, but we only already said this is the first 5 and the last 40th. But around about the 37th pauri, Guru Amar Das Ji says, No dware pargat kiye, daswaं gupt rakhaya. That he made 9 physical doors that were visible, and the 10th one he kept hidden. Guru dware lai pavni, ikna daswaं dwar dikhaya. Come to the Guru's door with love, and some people get blessed to see the 10th door. Okay? So imagine this, right? A lot of people, when they meditate, they do this. Close your eyes for a second. Just think about God. Just think, I'm going to call God, call Guru. Okay? Just for a second, try closing your eyes. How many of your eyes went up? How many of your eyes actually, when you close your eyes, did you sort of automatically look up? Even though you weren't looking anywhere. Very common reaction, yeah, to look up. Because that's where Dasam Duaar is, right here. And what Maharaj says is you don't need eyes to see God. Yeah? You can see Him regardless. Even a blind person can see the Creator. So what it's telling us is that Dasam Duaar is a place to experience Naam. Noa dware pargat ke daswaं gupt rakhaya, Guru dware lai pavni, ikna daswaं dwar dikhaya. Teh anek roop, now Nav Nid. No Nid Naam. Wherever you see this No Nid Naam word come up, just think about the experience of God. So I'm going to define now, just for you guys, as a sort of easy way to understand Naam. Just think connecting to God. Mobile phone, yeah, has a hidden aerial, but it still connects. Doesn't it? But the iPod, it looks just like an iPhone. It doesn't connect to anything. Yeah? Apart from the Wi-Fi. Doesn't connect to a satellite. But they look very similar. They're very similar. Okay? The same thing with the Dasam Duaar. It's there, but most of us are walking around on airplane mode. Yeah? Not connecting to God. And Guru Sahib has the power to turn that mode off and connect. And what I'm trying to say to you is that the experience of that 10th door is the proof of it. Until that point, people will go away and think about it all day long. But the fact is that it's real. Yeah? And you can connect to this one. And this is the gift of Sikhi, that the Naam means connecting and experiencing the divine. It's not about thinking some esoteric thing. And some people have accused me of being a yogi or something by talking about this stuff, yeah? The 10th door being here is the same place, right, as the chakra, 7th chakra for the Hindus. Same place as the Buddhists call this the Sahas Ahara, the 1,000 petal lotus. Yeah? It's the same thing. And the first thing that it happens is, it's an amazing, exhilarating and joyful experience. Bliss. And that's why Anand Sahib is called Anand. Anand means bliss. Yeah? It's about giving you bliss. Anand paya meri mai. Sat Guru mein paya. Meeting Guru is blissful. And it's not blissful like you might think, oh, other things might be. Bani says, Anand, Anand sab ko kahe. Everybody says, Anand, Anand ho gaya. But Anand Guru te paya. The biggest bliss we can get is from our Guru. And it's free. You don't pay nothing for now. You can get totally high off it. Mashed. People sit there in bliss and they look like they're out of this world. They're sitting there and they've got a smile on their face and they're totally out of it. Eyes are glazed. If you tested them there and then, like a policeman might think they're stoned. Yeah? And then the same bliss. And it's free and it's given to us and it will never ever get, you will never get habituated to it. You know how with alcohol you can get habituated, need more and more to maintain the same level of high. Naam is the complete opposite. The more you do of Naam, the bigger it gets. Yeah? That one bit of WhyGuru you saying now might give you a little bit of bliss. 10 years from now, had you continued doing it, that one WhyGuru is going to give you that much more bliss. Same effort, more. It's actually much better for you than anything else out in this world. Now, a lot of people don't get told this stuff in their Gurdwara. They don't talk about Dasam Duaar. They don't talk about Naam, the bliss of God. Yeah? Bani talks about it all day long. All day long, Bani talks about this. Very blatant. The problem is who understands Bani, innit? Ki likhya pata nahi. Kin likhya pata nahi. Matha tek lo bas. Yeah? Right? That's how Gurdwara are. They're not teaching Sikhi. Yeah? So we're not understanding what we're doing here. Why are we singing? And the singing is about Naam. The singing is about connecting as well. All of Kirtan is about experiencing God. That's why some people turn up to South of Gurdwara every morning at 3 o'clock. They've been doing it for years. There must be a reason at 3 a.m. that those guys are about to drag themselves out of their bed at 2:30, get in there, showered and ready at 3 to do their part, and then ready for Simran for 1 hour at 4 a.m. So 4 to 5 o'clock every morning at Park Avenue is packed. People come in to say WhyGuru, WhyGuru, WhyGuru for 1 hour. Surely they're not all delusional nutters, yeah? They just want to sit there saying WhyGuru. There must be something to it, right? What I propose to you is if you haven't felt this Dasam Duaar, you haven't felt this Naam, is that you're missing out on something really important, very integral to your life. It's kind of like walking around with your eyes shut. Because remember the other 10 doors, yeah? Other 9 doors, they're all physical places, aren't they? So imagine if you met somebody who had their eyes like totally shut. And all it was just sewn shut. And you could just have an operation and have it opened. You know, all of us would recommend Karla. It's worth it to see. He's like, I can't be bothered. I'm happy enough. I've learned how to walk around, you know, with my hands and I've got my stick. I don't need it. But you can say, look, man, it's very easy. Pop down doctors, you know, a couple of £100. They'll open the eyelids and you'll be able to see. And the guy's like, nah, I can't be bothered. Yeah? This is real thing, yeah, that we've been given. A lot of the world doesn't even know about it. We've been told about it blatantly by our Guru. In the Panjabanya. You know, it's not like hidden away somewhere in a section of the Guru Granth no one ever reads, yeah? It's right there. Okay. So the experience is what makes it real, and also that it brings you peace, a lot of contentment with the world, and an experience of divine truth. Divine truth. You get to experience your soul, and your soul is God. Yeah, so it's a great thing. And Gurbani describes it as gunge ki mithai. We all know mithai is, yeah, trying to turn it down at parties, yeah. But gunge is a person who's mute, can't speak. So now if you give mithai to a gunga person, when you ask them, is it nice? They can't say it. And what they do is just smile at you. And they go, but they can't describe it to you. In the same way that this Naam experience we can't describe to you. Only give you a few ishare, it's exhilarating, it's amazing, it's very truthful, it's very real, yeah? It's blissful. But if you haven't had it, you have to work towards it. And we'll talk about how to get it. Now Guru Amar Das Ji, this is what we talked about, that Maharaj talks about this, that in Anand Sahib, this is a daily prayer for the Sikhs, yeah? Maharaj says, look, he's placed the soul into the body, this is the cave, yeah? And blew the breath of life into it, into this vajja, which is just basically our lungs, always breathing, yeah? Our vajja. And as he blew life into it, he made 9 doors, the 10th one was kept hidden. By coming to the Guru's door with love, some get the 10th door revealed to them. That there's many images of God and the 9 treasures of Naam, but his limits can never be found. This experience of him doesn't mean you found him and no one else has found him. There's no limit to how big he is. Maharaj says, look, Nanak places the soul into the body and gives it the life breath, prana. Very similar to what you can find in Jewish texts, Christian texts, all this stuff about the breath of God into the body, yeah, and how it starts breathing. But the thing that is about pran is actually Naam Simran can be done with your pran. So you're supposed to marry your breath to the Naam. That's what it's saying. Why is it in the body that is to do with breath? It's because you're supposed to marry your breath to God. Swas, swas, japiye. Have you heard this? Swas, swas, japiye. Swas is your breath. That's why Maharaj put it into that body. Didn't put it into the eyes or about the one about the ears. He put it into the one about the breath. Okay, so the body is live because of prana, and it contains the soul of the light of God, yeah? And by love, these are the two things, by love and Guru's grace, we can open this up. So, it's like theory of Naam, yeah? Just taking what's written down there, but just making it more simpler for us. But these are the key things, yeah? Love and Guru's grace. Now, here's the interesting thing, yeah? There's a quote which I think is very relevant because you can understand Naam now, because Naam is about connection. What's Naam related to with that glass? That's the Haumai, yeah? That's separating us. Bani says, Haumai nave naal viruddha hai. Doina vase ek thai. So there's a battle going on, yeah? Haumai and Naam are directly opposed to each other. They can't stay in the same place. So where you're connected to God, that sense of separateness isn't there. Makes sense, right? The minute you're separated from God and thinking individually or egoistically, individually basically, and not in a sense of oneness, then the Naam is not there, you're not connected. So you have two choices. Stay connected and forget about the ego, or stay in the ego and don't connect. So Sikhi is all about trying to stay in that connection. Okay? So how do you maintain this? Well, you know this Hukum Rajai Chalna. So let's just go through Japji Sahib. The very first Pauri Japji Sahib, not after the Mool Mantar, the very first Pauri poses the question. Kiv sachiyara hoiye, kiv kude tutte paal. How do I become Satyar? How do I become truth? How do I become one with this truth? How do I break the wall of falsehood? Look at that quote. The wall of falsehood. It's just the glass Maharaj is talking about. The glass separating us from the one. Kiv sachiyara hoiye, kiv kude tutte paal. Hukam rajai charna, Nanak likhya naal. Walk in accordance with the hukam. Hukam being the truth, the order of the one. The one's order is also true. Your hukam is also true. So how do we live in accordance with the truth? The first thing is to understand that we are a speck. Just imagine how big this, like scientists, yeah? They know more about this, how we're just specks. Because they say how big the world is. Our planet, our little bit of the solar system is nothing. There's Milky Way's got so many different solar systems. And that's just one galaxy amongst billions of galaxies. And then amongst all of that is this one planet out of the solar system that we live on. And on that, we're fighting over the little bit of land that's on there. Yeah, 4 or 5 billion of us. We're nothing, are we? We're specks. So actually, when you experience God, you feel like a speck as well. He's that big. He made all of that with just one word. Yeah. So how big is Akal Purakh, isn't it? So the first step is to understand we should be humble and surrender to the one who made all of this. And accept that we're not in control. This Karta Purakh, yeah, very important word that comes up right at the beginning, yeah? Satanam, yeah, and then Karta Purakh. He is a doer. He does everything. So we're not in control. Hukam Rajayi Chalna. Except we're not in control. And all beings are part of that one. WhyGuru is supremely loving. So if he's in control, but he's also loving, that means whatever's happening is for our good. That's another translation of Tere Pani Sarbat Kapala. Sarbat Dapala. We think we think everybody's good is what you want, but the opposite of that is that whatever you want is everybody's good. Yeah? Tere Pani Sarbat Dapala. So he is very loving. He gives to us. So be content in what you've got. You know? Then all beings are part of that one. That is the truth. So therefore we should be compassionate. Because who are we fighting? It's not the being that's connected to the one, isn't it? Yeah? Who's come from that? Sab mein hai jyot, jyot hai soi. So everybody's come from the one. That's why I said, Gura ik deh bujai. Sabna jiyan ka ik data. So mein visarna chahiye. Let me not forget that you give to everybody. So compassion. Nothing is ours forever. So share. Don't be greedy. This is called living in accordance with the truth. Why? It's very practical. It's not the theory, it's putting it into practice. It's starting to live this, because if you haven't had the experience, you need to start walking upon that path so that you get the experience. So it's like, it's not the chicken and the egg. You don't have to start living it until you have the experience. You can start living it and you can get the experience from it. Okay? The first thing is, and it's to understand that we are separated from the one. So we have to make an effort to realize the one. Okay? And then we are here to actually experience the one. Okay? It's so clear in Dara Sahib. So clear. But I just wonder how many parents have explained Era Sahib to their kids. Maharaj just says very clearly, Pai parapat manuk de huriya, gobind milan ki eh teri bariya. You achieve the body of a human being, this is your turn to meet God. You know when we play cards, yeah? Pubby or anything, yeah? When it's your body, you have to play in it. In pubby, you can't get away with not playing. You know that rule. You've got to pick up if you haven't got anything. You've got to throw something else down and you're going to pick up. So pubby means you have to play. It's a very good analogy of Sikhi. Yeah? Because in this human life, you have to play. You got a chance to either cash it in and get the Naam or not. But you have got no chance of saying, I don't want to abstain from this game. Yeah? You can't get out of it. So this is the chakra we're in. We're at that German. We have to play something. Good or bad, you have to play something. Changyaya, buriyaya. We have to do one or the other. And Naam is obviously the highest thing. So we have to make an effort. We've come to meet God. And that ego itself is false. So this ego, this Haumai, you can get rid of it by giving it to Guru. Guru has the power to take it off you. Okay? That's why it says ki, this comes next, which Guru is a reflection of the one. Why Guru? Why give it to Guru? That's the key thing, isn't it? Why him? Why not just give it to God direct? Yeah? Because there's no difference. As far as Sikhi is concerned, Guru and God are like a wave and the ocean. You see a wave, it comes out of the ocean. It looks big and terrifying, it's separate, but it subsumes back into the ocean. It's only come from the ocean, it has to go back to the ocean. So that's for us is Guru. Guru and God are the same. Har har jan doi ek hai, beb bichar kach na hai. Jal te upaj tarang, jo jal hi bikhe sama hai. That means as the wave come out of the ocean, of the water, it goes back into the water. God and God's person are the same. Guru is the moon, WhyGuru is the sun. Guru reflects that back. And that Guru gives Naam, as we said, and takes away our Haumai. And effectively, because Guru is Bani, Bani Guru, Guru hai Bani, then Guru's Shabad also burns away Haumai. So when in Asa Diwar it says, ki हौमे दीर्घ रोग है दारू भी इस माहे कृपा करे जे आपनी ता गुर का शब्द कमाहे. Haumai is the biggest disease, but the solution to Haumai is inside it as well. So the solution to ego is in the ego. Because what is that solution? You have to give your ego to someone. You physically have to give yourself to Guru. And then, Kirpa kare ji apni. If he blesses us, then we earn the Guru's Shabad. So all of you, like all of us now, we have an option. We know we're still in control of ourselves. We're not become one with God and living in the hukum yet. Yeah? I certainly haven't. So what do we got to do? What you have to do is try and live in accordance with that truth, i.e. live in Guru's truth. But that means for us, Part, Simran, Kirtan, this Guru Shabad, make the effort to do those things because they burn away our Haumai and they connect us. Because if you're burning away Haumai, you're getting Naam. Yeah? Naam is what burns away Haumai and Bani is Naam. So it's all by Guru's grace. Okay, so some people think, well, why do I have to meditate? This is the answer to that question. Why should I meditate? Yeah? Hukum rajai chalna. Remember that thing? Walk in the way with the hukum of God's will. Well, Bani says very clearly what is hukum. And who explains this to us? He says, Eko naam hukum hai. Naam is the order. Do naam. That's God's hukum. Naam, japo. That's why it comes in Mool Mantar. Jap. That's the hukum. That's the very first hukum of Guru. Jap. After Gur Prasad, it says Jap. Yeah? Eko naam hukum hai. And who gives it to us? Nanak Satguru diya bujai jiyo. The Guru explains this to us. Actually, living in accordance with God's will is to do Naam Japana. And the translation for Naam is to connect. Yeah? And truth is the hukum. The eternal reality is a Akal Purkh who's always in charge. So he's hukum. So you could say Sat Naam is that God's order is to reconnect or connect, but reconnect because we come from there anyway. So there's like kind of different translations. You've got it on your sheet so you can hopefully mull it over. It's going to be like 3 or 4 weeks, maybe more than that, to the next one. So it's quite good to mull over. Okay, I'm going to give a few analogies because sometimes people find this whole thing a bit too sort of way out there if you haven't been exposed to it. So, and this will help because these are the analogies you're going to see in Shabbos when you go to Gurdwara. And I'm sure now, hopefully, if you go to Gurdwara next, when you get that translation up there, you'll be reading it, trying to work out if this relates to what we just talked about here. So a couple of analogies, yeah? The bride and the husband Lord. This comes up a lot. So what Gurbani is saying is that the soul is the bride. So actually, people say, well, why are women not this, women, men equal or not? In Sikhi, all male, all men and all women are all women to God. We're equal in that sense because we're all brides to the one. Every soul is a bride of God because it's a glass compared to the ocean. Yeah? And the husband Lord is a Akal Purkh WhyGuru. So Bani will say something very clearly, say, look, is jag mein Purkh ek hai. Purkh means male, yeah? Is jag mein Purkh ek hai. There's only one male in this whole world. And all of us are women to that one. The second one it says, so with the bride and the husband Lord, the thing that the bride is going through, yeah, is separation. So she's in love with the husband Lord, and then he goes away. And then she's pining at home. All of us are she, yeah? It's not, don't try to make this sexist, yeah? All of us are she. So we're pining away, ki aajao, mere kar aavo. You know that Shabad? Mere kar aavo. That's what she's saying, aajao. And then the second bit is, the WhyGuru doctor. So Guru or WhyGuru, no difference, yeah, as far as Sikhi is concerned, is the doctor. And the disease is Haumai. Yeah? And the medicine he gives us is Naam. So in fact, that gurkha that's sitting up on a shelf somewhere in your house, that's actually medicine from the Guru. Yeah? Don't think of it as like something I got to read. Think of it as medicine. Yeah? And that's why it says in Bani, Mera Baid Guru Gobinda. Baid means doctor. Yeah? Mera Baid Guru Gobinda, Har Har Naam Aukhad Mukh Deve. He gives me the Naam of Hari. Har Har Naam Aukhad. Aukhad means medicine. Har har naam okhad mukh deve. He puts medicine of Naam into my mouth. Kate jam ki phanda. He cuts away the bonds of death. So Guru's our doctor. The problem is, yeah, all of us know, we go to the doctor's house, and we matha take to the doctor, and he says, here's your medicine, and we go home, put it on up our shelf, and we don't take it. We're not going to get fixed this way, yeah? That doctor is prescribed nitnem. It's a daily dosage of part, isn't it? That's that nitnem. If we're not doing nitnem, Japji Sahib, Rara Sahib, Kirtan Soil at the very minimum, then we're basically cutting ourselves off from the medicine that he's given us. Another one, the analogy is the human destiny. So when I said about the 8.4 million lives, the human destiny is to meet with God. Animal destiny is not that. They've got a different hukum. For the human hukum is to meet God. Okay? And then the mobile phone analogy, which I talked about earlier, okay? There's a video about this on the channel as well. So if you fancy like seeing the analogies one, I've taken it to the nth degree. So it's like whatever you can get out of that analogy, I've taken it out. So there's like a whole bunch of stuff in there. It seems to work with some people. So watch that one. It's just called the mobile phone analogy. Or why Sikhi, can I call God on my iPhone? The titles keep changing. So it's called that. But basically the idea is this, yeah? We've got the antenna, but it's hidden. So we're on airplane mode. And what we want to do is connect. But in order to connect with the phone, there's a certain science to the phone. Just like you've got a phone now, if you don't charge it, it won't work. If you don't have reception, it won't work. If you don't have a contract or some kind of service provider with pay-as-you-go, it won't work. Yeah? If you haven't got a reception, it won't work. Yeah, sorry, I might repeat about that already. All of that applies to Sikhi as well. You need some kind of battery. Nitnem. Nitnem's your battery, yeah? Right? You need some kind of service provider, a guru to go through. Yeah? You need Sadh Sangat to give you reception. If you're hanging out in Madi Sangat, not good Sangat, you're going to get no reception. And there's bad people and there's bad things, bad thoughts. Kaam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Ahankar. This is Madi Sangat. Hang out with them, no reception. You can get good reception if you go into Sangat of people. Or Sangat of good thoughts. Yeah? Sat, Santok, Daya, Taram, all these things, Seva. It's that reception. So there's an analogy of it, just explaining it using this. Because actually, the fact is that the phone works because of that science. We work, our soul science is also there. So you just can't walk in and say, I want to connect to God. If you haven't, you can't just pick up your phone, haven't charged it for days, yeah, never got a contract, never bothered to get any good reception. You're downstairs in the underground with a phone that's not been charged, and you're saying, cool, why isn't it working? Cool, why isn't it working? Oh, the phone is broken. No, phone is not broken. But you trust Samsung, innit? You trust Apple, yeah? If they made this phone, it's bound to work. Follow the science of it. So this is the idea. Trust Guru. Guru's made us in the same way. We've got this 10th door. It will work. Just follow the science of it. Another one is the dog and the master. Kabirji says this, he goes, my name is Moti. I'm the dog, Indian people like to name their dog Moti. Yeah? And Kabirji goes, I'm a dog of Ram. My name is Moti. Wherever he pulls me, that's where I follow him. Yeah? So it's like now some people find this bit a little bit kind of awkward to get your head around because it seems to be like submission. We're not become unthinking. But it's not unthinking because until you've seen the truth, you have to critically think about it. But once you've seen the truth, it's about submission. Yeah? Once you experience him inside you, then the proof is there. You don't need to understand how big he is. You know how big he is. And after that, it's just start submitting. The thing is, he's not telling us to be unthinking. Bani, if you look at the morals of Sikhi, it's just, that's why people get stressed sometimes, because there's no rule book. The rule book is very small. Because Sikhi is a character-based ethic. It's trying to build your character to be a certain type of person, so you intrinsically make good choices. It's not giving you a rule book to follow, and your character could be the most messed up character ever. But just because you think, oh well, I follow the rules, I'm going to get ahead. It's the other way around. Yeah? You could follow the rules and still be a bad person. Sikhi doesn't want that. It's going to change your inside so you make good decisions. Okay. I'll put in a few shortcuts because everybody likes shortcuts, yeah? How can we get around this quickly? The first thing is just it's not really shortcuts, it's more like pitfalls, things you might do wrong, yeah? Ask, but don't demand. Okay? That means ardas. If you want to connect to God, start with ardas. It's the most powerful thing given to us, yeah? Comes after the Banis, the summary. But a lot of people just read the Bani and say, He'll give me. No, ask. Because when you physically ask yourself in your own way, it doesn't have to be done in a certain way, by the way. Yeah? Just your little bit of ardas, it's short or long, that's prayer as well. Excuse me. That's true prayer. It's coming from your heart. You know? Ask Him. Say, help me. You know? Turn to Him. And that is actually a step towards God. Because people think, I'll take one step towards my Guru. Often they start thinking about, I'll start keeping my hair, or give up alcohol, or these things, yeah? But it's not, the first step is internally, you turn to Him and say, I'm open to you. Say, if this is the theory, and here's where I am, I haven't got access to this theory, then just turn around and say, I want it. Can I have it, please? Yeah? Beg, basically. God's grace comes through ardas. Second thing is, don't just seek the bliss of Naam. Don't do it for the bliss. That's like a nice to have. It's great to have. Yeah? But don't seek the bliss, seek the love. Go for love first. Because love is the fastest route. If you just want to get high of Naam, that's one thing. But you got to go to the love to get Him. Yeah? Because like if you look at Japji Sahib, when it goes through Gyan Khand is about bliss. Gyan Khand mein Gyan Prachand, Tithe Naad Binod, Kod Anand. You get bliss in Gyan Khand, right? But then you still got to put effort in afterwards. Saram Khand, then get to Karam Khand. Karam Khand is about grace. And God's grace is all about love. Yeah? Din mein Ram rahe parpur. Tithe Sito Sita Mehma Mahe. There is Sita and there is Ram. It's a love story. Yeah? So, and then second thing is, look, be open to grace. You know, the panda can be like this, yeah? Upside down panda. Grace is falling down. It's not picking up anything. So be like the panda that turns upside down. Yeah? Twist yourself and say, I'm open to grace. You know? No one is beyond redemption. Like we said right at the very beginning, it's like a massive pile of sins here. Whatever we've done in our life. Believe me, you don't know what I've done before I came into Sikhi. Yeah? And just spark it with Naam. Yeah? And it just, all of it's gone. It's like a forest fire, you know? Just goes. Naam is that powerful. So just you lot sitting here is actually proof that you're open to grace. Because you could be home. Those people that are watching this on YouTube as well, same thing. They want to know. Yeah? So the inquiry is the first step. Yeah? Okay. So this is the bit I quoted earlier from Rera Sahib. Okay? About Naam. Maharaj says this human body, this is a straightforward translation from what is written down, yeah? And can you imagine how it can't get any clearer than this? Maharaj says you've achieved this human body. It's been given to you. This is your turn to meet the Lord of the universe. Gobind milan ki teri bariya. Nothing else will be of any use to you. But join the Sad Sangat and chant the name of God. Mila Sad Sangat Paj Keval Naam. Make every effort to cross over this worldly ocean. Ocean meaning the kind of fire of the Maya, yeah? Just cross over it to get to Naam. And your life will be wasted in this love of Maya. The illusion. You can't make it any clearer. Only thing is written in Punjabi, not in English. You know? But it sounds better in Punjabi. You can sing it in Punjabi. You can't sing this. And the idea is to sing in it. Kirtan is the idea. So that's why it's in that language. It's written in raga, ragasa. It's meant to be sung in the morning or in the evening. Okay, Asa has got morning and evening times. We're going to go through the WhyGuru course. It's got like, this is the philosophy lesson. There will be other lessons on just Guru Granth Sahib Ji, other lessons on just what is Rag Kirtan, and there will be loads of history as well. This one's more about the philosophy. Another quote, Japota eko nama avad nirafal kama. Repeat the one's name, nothing else is fruitful. It's kind of like, you're going to holiday in Alaska, yeah? And what do you decide to pack in your suitcase? No point putting the sun lotion and all that, well, maybe. But no point putting in like, loads of little skimpy things that you're going to think of wearing on the beach, yeah? You're not going to use that there. Koi fayda nahi hai taking it with you. So you got to take this stuff. It's kind of like I said, when you walk into that room, if you haven't got Naam covering you, you're nange. Maharaj says, look, Man maya mein phadreho bisreho gobind naam. Kaho Nanak bin har bhajan jeevan kaun ekam. That's Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji in Slok Melanova. Maharaj says, look, your mind is entangled in Maya and has forgotten the name of God. Nanak says, without meditating on God, what is the use of this human life? Jeevan kaun ekam. What's the point of the life, of our life? It's quite harsh in that way, isn't it? The thing is, it's so clear if you read Gurbani. But actually, Gurbani is being kind of kept from us. Yeah. Then again, a few more quotes. Prabhu ke siman man ki mal jaye. If you remember God, the filth of the mind is removed. Amrit naam ridamahe samai. The immortal naam, the immortality. Basically, immortality is about the soul continuing past the human life and not coming back into reincarnation. So the body dies, the soul stays as it is. Yeah? It doesn't go back into reincarnation, it doesn't forget who it was, it stays as a soul. It just becomes more, but if it doesn't go into that, it's going to go back in reincarnation. So that's Amrit, to go beyond death. Barang bar bar prabh japiye pi amrit eho mantan thrapiye. Again and again and again, chant God's name. Drinking this nectar of immortality, your mind and body will be satisfied. It's because you're seeking it, innit? Although we might not know it, inside, we're seeking it. So if we don't even, it's like, you know, like known unknowns, like how this Americans do all the time. There's known unknowns and there's unknown unknowns. So this is about, if you don't know yet that you search for God, it's about knowing that there's this thing that you do search for. But it's about waking that up. And once you actually realize that your soul searches for it, then you won't deny your soul that. Food for the soul, isn't it? Bani. Now tera nirankar hai, nai laiye, narak na jaiye. Your name is formless. Chanting your name, we won't go to hell. So there's a carrot and stick approach. Okay. So how to meditate now? Because it's quite key. Right? Because when we say meditate, people straight away have some concept. You know, like when we say God, a lot of people have this concept. Like people don't say God, because people imagine some guy on a chair up in heaven, long flowing beard, looking down. You know, so the same thing happens when we say meditate. You know, I don't know what your mind is thinking about right now when I say the word meditate. So we'll try to do it the Sikhi way, rather than not confuse people. So the Ikko Onkar is very important, right? Now, you know the Mool Mantar, Ikko Onkar, Satanam, Kartapur, wherever you want to take it to, there's a short form of it called the Mangla Charan, which is Ikko Onkar Sat Gur Prasad. That comes up all the time, much more common than even the, you know, the Maha Mantra or Mool Mantra, as you want to say. Now, what that means is the one through the sound expanded into creation. Okay? Ik Oankar, Sat. The name of this truth, Satanam. The name of this truth joins us to the truth. Yeah? So Naam is pointing to a Sat. So to find a Sat, you need the name of that Sat. And it's going to take us back there. Okay? And the Guru, obviously, is Satguru, isn't he? Because he teaches the truth. So the word Satguru often gets translated as the true Guru or the true name. But let's just make Sat be truth, yeah, for a little while. So the name of the truth joins us to the truth. Then the Guru of the truth joins us to the truth. Just swap Naam and Guru. Sat Naam, Sat Guru. Yeah. Shall I go through it again? About throwing some of you guys. There's some confused faces looking at me. Okay. Normally the translation of Ikko Onkar Satnam is this. There is one God, His name is true. How many of you guys seen that before? Very common, right? That didn't make any sense to me when I was growing up. Made no sense. I was like, what does that mean? You know? His name is true. Let's try again now. The one with the sound expanded into creation. Yeah? To find this truth, Sat, you must name it. You must call its name. Namo. Through the name of this truth, you will find the truth. Okay? Satanam. Now, we can swap Naam and put Guru there, innit? Because it becomes Satgur Prasad. So now, again, same signs. To find this truth, find the Guru of this truth, who will join you back to this truth. Satgur, the Guru of the truth, the enlightener of the truth. Okay? So now, Satgur, Ik Oankar, Satgur. So the one with the sound expanded into creation, the Guru of the truth, has the power to join us to this truth. And how does he do it? With his grace. Kirpa, Prasad. Ik Oankar, Satgur, Prasad. And what is his Prasad? What does he give us? Naam. That's why you can swap Gur Prasad there, instead of Sat Naam, becomes Sat Gur Prasad. Because Gur Prasad is Naam. Nanak ke kar keval Naam. Nanak has come with Naam. That's his gift to give to us. So that's what it means. Ik Oankar Sat Gur Prasad. That to find this truth, Guru has the power to bless us with it. So let's listen to Guru's advice on how to jap Naam. Yeah? Before we are asking, just listen to Guru's Prasad. After Guru Prasad comes, japa. Yeah? Maharaj says, look, Haumai is a grave illness, but contains its own medicine. If God blesses us, then we earn the Guru's word. Nanak says, listen everybody, in this way the pain goes. What's that pain? The pain of separation. Pain's already there. Pain's not going to come, it's already there. It's just about realizing we're in pain. It's like people get shot and they don't realize they're in pain. Then they look down, then they get a bit of a shock, and then the pain kicks in. Yeah? The pain's already there. But it just hasn't been realized yet. So you have to go through that pain. Maharaj says, at the very beginning we read this out, yeah? Antar Gur Aradhana. Inside, worship Guru. With your mouth, chant Guru's name. With your eyes, see Guru. With your ears, listen to Guru's name. Be immersed in Satguru and achieve a place in the heavenly court. Nanak says, only very few blessed ones achieve this, and they are known as supreme throughout the world. So it's completely involving all those visual senses we talked about. Eyes, ears, mouth, yeah, mind. All of it focus upon the name of the one.